Hey guys, what's up? Giving Up 96 here, and happy Labor Day. This is the last edition, the last segment of my favorite horror movies. My top 50 favorite horror movies, numbers 10 through 1. So it's the top 10. So yeah, it came quick, really quick, and I just want to say thanks to everyone who did this with me. Thanks to Lausberg, Andrew Bellina, Manny Rapasso, Parsnip Burger, Toddy Walnuts, sorry, I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Manny, who started this, Parsnip, Burger, who's definitely been commenting on my stuff, and I really appreciate that, and his awesome updates. Lausberg, he's been commenting. Actually, almost a good chunk of them have joined my contest. Lausberg 711 just joined. Andrew Bellina, he's doing awesome with his collection. And then Todd, yep. Sorry, I just want to make sure that I have them all, seeing that this is the last huzzah. And I also want to mention, deadline for my contest is September 15th. That's, I believe, 10 days away, and so far I believe I have four entrants, so there's 3 prizes given away, so I can't complain about those. But please keep them coming. I really want to see your videos, and I'd like to see the entries. Alright, but anyway, to my top 10. Number 10, the one that started them all for this franchise, Halloween, stars the lovely Jamie Curtis. Great movie, creepy psychological movie about a serial killer who killed his family, and it has come back to the home that started, back to the town that started all, and continues his killing rampage with a babysitter and her friends. I definitely really like that one. Actually, if you watch some of my older videos, when I was more angsty and whatnot, I really didn't appreciate the film, and over the last 5 years or so, I've really come to appreciate it, and it's made its way in my top 10. I really enjoy it now a lot more than I remember enjoying it when I was younger. Just one of the movies that take me by surprise, and I can watch it over and over again because it's a great horror. It's suspenseful and just a fun movie overall. Number 9 here goes to newer film from, I believe, what was this, 2013? 2013 or 2014? Sorry, I can't seem to find the copyright date. 2013. That is the remake of Carrie. Don't get me wrong, I love the original Carrie with Sissy Spacek. But I really like Chloe Grace Moretz as an actress, and to me, she's one of those actresses who can do no wrong. Well, that's a lie. Movie 43, she did wrong. And I haven't seen If I Stay. But Kick-Ass, Let the Right One In, which I felt was a fun direct scene-by-scene sequel. Definitely, for me, this was a really good film. I've watched it a few times since, and I still really, really enjoy this film. It's obviously the story of Carrie. She's a teenager that's picked on, and she gains telekinetic powers. As you can tell by watching my videos, I'm really, really into the kid gets picked on and gets their revenge type of film. I don't know why, I just have always been interested in that genre. Carrie gets telekinesis, others just murder. I just feel there's something like a completed circle in those types of movies. But keeping going, next here is Night Tide. Night Tide is about a sailor who's on shore leave, goes to this freak show, and he finds Mora the mermaid, and he falls in love with her, and she feels that he wants her to become his lover and join him, where Mora just needs to return to the waves, and she feels that she's destined to bring men with her and kill them. It's a really good, is it real or is it all in our characters' heads? Highly recommend this one. It stars Dennis Hopper in one of his earliest roles, and it's by Curtis Harrington. It's a Kino classic. I highly recommend this film. Highly. I'm pretty sure it's in the public domain, so you can probably find it on YouTube. Watch this movie. It's really, really good. Number 7, ironically enough, goes to one of the slasher films in this Blu-ray pack. This isn't actually mine, this is my brother's, and I'm borrowing it from him. He said I could borrow it and watch some flicks while he's away. But my favorite of the series is Part 7. Partly because it's one of the first horror movies I watched. I remember Spike would have Friday the 13th marathons on Friday the 13th, and I absolutely fell in love with Part 7 because it had Jason meeting his match, and it was against this psychic girl, and she had a hatred and confusion of her father, who, like, we don't really understand his story, just he passed away under circumstances of his daughter, and you see a redemption for him, and it's just such a really cool movie. And Jason finally, well, not finally, he's met his match many times, but this time it's a paranormal versus paranormal battle. Before Freddy versus Jason was really talked hugely about. So that's Friday the 13th 7 is my number 7 in the list. Number 6 goes to Killer Klowns from Outer Space. If you haven't seen this, it's a really cheesy film about these Martian clowns coming down, setting up a circus, and turning the townsfolk into cotton candy. Not much more to say, but it's like it's really funny what these clowns do, from making shadow puppets to kill their victims to eating them, riding little clown cars. They turn like everything into deadly weapons, from popcorn to caramel to cotton candy and little balloons and whatnot. It's just a really fun movie. This case really doesn't get the tone of the film, but that's okay. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. It's number 6. Alright, we're already halfway through, but keeping up with the flicks, number 5 here is The Monster Squad. I really like this because it brings all of the Universal Monsters home to fight off these kids to fight off. It's these kids that are obsessed with horror movies. They befriend Frankenstein. All the 5 monsters come to find this stone that will allow them to take control and plunge the world into darkness, take over the world, kind of thing. And these kids have to find it first, and to get rid of the monsters, sending them to another dimension like Van Helsing has done in the past. It definitely has its stereotypes, from the chubby kid's story literally just being the fact that he's chubby and now he has to be brave. It's definitely just Goonies featuring the Universal monsters, but I love the character designs, and I love this movie in general, from the classic Wolfman's got nards to Dracula saying, I believe it's give me the stone, bitch, or something to the little girl. Just, it's a great film. Highly recommend that one. Number 4, George A. Romero finally hits my list, and it's not Dawn of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead. It is Day of the Dead. My personal favorite of the Dead original trilogy. Romero has since made more of the Dead films: Land of the Dead, Survival of the Dead, and Diary of the Dead. All which have been kind of mediocre films. I enjoy them, but they are mediocre. But this is one of the classics with Bub the Zombie, one of our first zombies to be shown learning and having emotions, which I think is really cool. Basically, this group of military and scientists are down in an underground bunker, and the military thinks they're right, while the scientists don't feel compelled to agree with them, how they're using zombies as basically a game instead of studying them. And there's a power struggle between the two, and basically people butt heads. Alright. Number 3. This is going way quicker than I thought, and maybe it's because I'm not getting as in depth as I should, but it's making me realize I am gonna really miss this series. But that's Halloween 3. My personal favorite of the Halloween series, Season of the Witch. It's because it's not just a serial killer movie. To me, I really wanted to see how the Halloween series would have went if they would have went with the anthology area, and I thought this was really cool how it went back to the traditional aspects of Samhain, and how this evil guy from Ireland has created these masks to kill these children in the most grotesque ways I can think of, from these weird automatons, and just killing humans to make them shut up, to his main goal, which is to kill like a huge chunk of the population by killing the children. Plus it stars the mustache himself, Tom Atkins. How can you say no to that? Just honestly one of my favorite movies. I've always enjoyed this one more so than the original Halloween. Just my opinion. We all have our own opinions, and Halloween 3 is my number 3 movie. It's just how it is. Alright guys, now number 2, Evil Dead 2. It was between this one and my number 1 spot from day one. I've actually fought with myself multiple times over which one should take the spot, and I'm happy with the choices that I've made. This is Evil Dead 2, the second in the Evil Dead quadrilogy now, seeing that the reboot is considered a sequel. I have the signed by Ted Raimi, who plays Henrietta, or the Cellar Deadite. As you can see, it says, "For Jordan, I'll swallow your soul, Ted Raimi." I really enjoyed this one. I think it takes it to the next level, mainly because of the laughing scene, where you can see Bruce's final descent into madness as he's mimicking this room that's laughing at him. Plus there's a lot more slapstick comedy. The chainsaw, the iconic chainsawed arm lives in this one. It's not as dark and straight horror. It seems to have a cult following just because it literally stems so far from the original, and definitely one of my favorite films. Definitely my favorite adventure of Ash, and I can't wait for Ash versus the Evil Dead, but it'll be a while before I get to see that. And my number 1 all-time favorite horror film goes to the 1944 classic, The Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney and Claude Rains. I absolutely love this movie. This is the movie that got me into horror 100%. It just goes so far into the lore of the Wolfman. This is where all of the tropes came from. All of the horror tropes, and I've always loved this film. This is some awesome background art. I love this. The way this is set up. It's set up as a kind of like a mini media book kind of thing. But it's about this man who basically comes back, has left his hometown, but has come back to visit his father and help him put in a telescope, new glass in a telescope. And it just has one of the most iconic werewolf transformations, and werewolves in general. Look at the little puppy snout. Basically, it's we see him change, but in the end the film still decides to go, is he a werewolf? Even though we know he's changed and he has mutated, there's no doubt about it that he is a lycanthrope. And Lon Chaney is the perfect sympathetic character. He just doesn't want to be cursed with this disease, and he doesn't embrace it. He relishes it. He hates the fact that he's changing, and he's so deep against it. Even to the sequels, his main want is to rid the world of what he is, the Wolfman, whether it be from suicide or trying to make a deal with Victor Frankenstein. It's just a wonderful movie and a wonderful character. The man just wants nothing more than to be with the woman he loves and to just lead a normal life, but he's cursed to just be a werewolf. He's repressed into this he's repressed to beat loneliness, and he has to hold in that nothing's gonna change for him other than him on the full moon. He can't find love, because if he finds love, he's just gonna destroy it. And it's just a wonderful movie, wonderful series, and I highly recommend, if you haven't watched The Wolfman, watch it right away. But yeah, that's the last part of my top 50 horror movies. Like I said, I'll have the other guys' links down below. Manny Raposo, Lausberg 7-Eleven, Parsnip Burger, Andrew Balina, and Toddy Walnuts' links will all be down below. I just want to say thank you for everyone who has subscribed and has participated in this, and it really has helped us as a community bond and grow. So that's it from me to you guys, and with that, the thunder is going over here. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's shaking my house a little. So that's it from me to you. So all I can say is see you next time.